The lingering affection for the late queen is drying up, along with the novelty factor of King Charles taking the throne. It's time for the king to show the UK what he's made of, and his first few months in power will set the tone for the kind of monarch he'll be. However, lately, His Majesty seems to find himself involved in after. Stay tuned as we unpack all of this and more. First up, the diamonds controversy. This week, Buckingham Palace is rolling out the red carpets for South African President Ramaphosa and his wife, Dr. Motsepe. This is the first state visit after Charles' ascension to the throne, and tensions are high. Even before anyone could rifle through the jewelry drawer to pick the pieces Queen Camilla would be showing off, Zwelinzima Vavi, one of South Africa's best-known trade unionist, gave the Queen some advice. He said it would be best for the Queen to skip wearing the Cullinan diamonds, as that would be like spitting in the face of South Africans. After all, these comically huge and precious diamonds originated in South Africa. Vavi's advice proved to be a tremendous burden to the king, as it reminded the world of the crown's colonial legacy, which involved them plundering and looting their colonies. These conversations are sparking just months after another controversy involving jewels stolen from India, another former colony. Next up is the Andrew situation. We know what you're thinking. Isn't there always an Andrew situation? Unfortunately for the king, his younger brother has replaced Prince Edward as the family's black sheep. From being accused of a teenager to being besties with someone on the child offenders register, this guy has always been a pain to the royal family. This week, he has decided to ruin the king's life by choosing to fly out to Bahrain via private jet. King Charles tries to suppress rumors that his brother is trying to be the unofficial intermediary between the West and the Gulf states. Reports disclose that Prince Andrew is forking out $15,000 a night to stay at the Four Seasons as he tries to bag the role of special government representative for international trade and investment. Bahrain has always been a haven for the disgraced prince, and his recent secret flight to the country only brought up past grievances. Moving on, dealing with Harry and Meghan. While talking about Charles' troublesome relatives, let's not forget about Harry and Meghan. The pair haven't held back from criticizing and exposing the royal family. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex are all set to be honored at the RFK Foundation Ripple of Hope Awards Gala in New York. The event is scheduled for early December, and the couple will appear alongside others, including Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. Speaking to El Confidential, the foundation's representative, Kerry Kennedy, commended the duo for going up against the royal family's power structure. This is not great news for the king. His youngest son is making a career out of bashing the family legacy. We don't want to be the ones to remind the king of Meghan's claims of institutional racism inside the monarchy. These grievances are bound to come up in the interviews before and after the event, as Harry and Meghan discuss what made them bravely decide to leave the royal family. Finally, the case of the gold plates. Last week, the UK's Chancellor of Exchequer, in other words, the Treasurer, announced a humongous increase in taxes. We're talking about a $98 billion rise. The government is desperately trying to cover up the massive black hole in its finances. This winter is not looking easy for the Brits. Not only do they have to deal with the enormous tax increase, but they have to figure out how to pay hefty power bills as the country deals with a recession. Instead of sympathizing with the public, the social media team of the royal family decided that it would be the perfect time to show off the family's immense wealth. After President Ramaphosa's visit and the state banquet, the official royal social media accounts shared two short videos, which immediately stirred controversy. The videos showcased the gaudy gold servingware and the pastry chef who made elaborate sugar proteas to adorn the gold plates. We know the royal family is supposed to be pompous and luxurious, but having a pastry pastry chef whose only job is to make ornamental flowers that won't get eaten? That's just too much. And that's not all for this video. Stay with us as we go back in time to find out about the biggest royal the king has been involved in. First up, the Camilla situation. In November 1992, an intimate transcript of a 1989 phone call was leaked. The call was between Charles and Camilla, and it was pretty suggestive, even though at this time, Charles was married to Diana. Not long after, Charles and Diana separated. 2 years after the leak, in 1994, Charles admitted to having an affair with Camilla during an interview with filmmaker Jonathan Dimbleby. On the night the interview aired, Diana showed up to an event at the Serpentine Gallery wearing the infamous revenge dress, a black dress with a plunging neckline. 2 years after that, in 1996, Diana and Charles finally filed for divorce, something intensely looked down upon in the royal family. Over these 4 years, Charles was surrounded by controversy, and the gossip didn't die down for a long while after that. Charles broke a major royal rule when he married Camilla in 2005. Camilla divorced her former husband, Andrew Parker-Bowles, in 1995, and it was considered taboo for royals to marry a divorced person. Rumor has it Queen Elizabeth and Prince Philip didn't even come to the ceremony. Next up, getting involved in politics. The then prince broke the biggest rule of the royal family by getting involved in British politics in the early 2000s. Britain has a constitutional monarchy, and the royal family must remain politically neutral. However, Charles overstepped boundaries when he made a series of policy demands on Tony Blair, who was then serving as the UK Prime Minister. He demanded better equipment for troops fighting in Iraq and urged the availability of alternative herbal medicines in the country. These letters quickly gained notoriety as the Black Spider Memos, owing to the royals' scrawled handwriting. A spokesperson for the prince defended him by alleging that he was merely raising public concerts, but many were not pleased with the prospect of the royal family dipping its toe in politics. Moving on, the Cash of Honors scheme. In February of this year, the British police launched an investigation into Charles' charity, the Prince's Trust. There were accusations that a close aide, Michael Fawcett, had offered a Saudi tycoon knighthood in exchange for $2 million worth of donations. Following the accusations, Fawcett temporarily stepped down from his role as the foundation's chief executive, as the public was enraged. Charles had no idea that a businessman had bought British citizenship through donations to his charity. We don't know if we believe that, though. Remember how we talked about the absolute chaos the king has been dealing with this week? Well, there's one thing we left off the list, and it's related to this scandal. This week, it was reported that Fawcett would be charged for his role in the scheme. It just keeps getting worse for the king. Next up, links to bin Laden. It seems like Charles will do anything to raise money for his charity. As if selling British citizenship wasn't enough, Charles shocked many when reports leaked that he had accepted $1.2 million from the family of Osama bin Laden. You heard that right. In July this year, the Sunday Times reported that Charles accepted the money from 2 of bin Laden's half-brothers. This donation took place following a meeting at Clarence House in 2013. This time, the money was donated to the Prince of Wales Charitable Fund, which awards grants to nonprofit organizations. Charles' advisors begged him to turn away the money, but he decided otherwise. The public narrative was that Charles had nothing to do with the decision to accept the money, which ultimately was the choice of the trustees. Yeah, we don't know if we believe that either. Finally, digging up the colonial legacy. Yep, the whole episode with the diamonds just wasn't enough. In September 2022, Charles faced backlash after guest editing the UK's only black newspaper. It was The Voice's 40th anniversary issue, and the editors thought getting the royal family involved would be a good idea. While they initially supported Charles, the editors later released a statement acknowledging the criticism and urging the monarchy to apologize for its role in the slave trade. They recognized the readers' indignance and acknowledged that an apology and reparations were long overdue. It seems like the past is coming back to haunt the king. That's a wrap for this video. What do you think about all these? Is there anything we missed out on? Do you think Charles can redeem his reputation as a monarch? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. Goodbye for now, and see you in the next video.